for the show?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday on a Tuesday. I'm your host, Madi B, and today I have the pleasure of having again the founding partner of D. Miller and Associates, Attorney
Darren Miller. Good afternoon.
Darren Miller. We have him here today with us again. That's two in a row.
2 in a row.
Wow. We're blocking off his calendar. This is a busy man, but we blocked off his calendar to make sure he has a presence in the show for you guys as well. So for you viewers that are out there, new to the show, tuning in right now, let's learn a little bit about you. So tell them a little bit about yourself, where you went to school, all that good stuff, so the viewers can get to know you a little bit better.
Sounds good, Madi. Thank you. Graduate of Texas A&M University. I have an MBA from the University of St. Thomas, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, of course. Very proud of my alma mater there. I've been practicing law for the last 19 years.
19 years.
19
Woo!
years.
I bet you remember like that was yesterday, huh?
Sure do.
My goodness, that's crazy. So I know you talked a little bit about the law school that you went to. So why is it, you talked a little bit last time, and if you guys have not watched the Talk to Me Tuesday last show, I really encourage that you guys go watch it because that was a good show. You gave a lot of good, interesting facts and why you became a lawyer. But why did you choose a lawyer? Very short story for our viewers. Why did you choose to be a lawyer?
I chose to be a lawyer, and I kind of gave a longer story last time, but it was just something that was very important to me, just coming up from growing up in London, England. It was something that I just always knew. I was always a talker, always someone on my feet, thinking, trying to get things done. And it was just something that I always knew I wanted to be. My parents, they instilled that work ethic on me very early. And it was just, I just always had a passion for the law, doing something different. Even at the young age of 10 or 11 years old, it's something that I always wanted to be. There was nothing else I wanted to do but really practice law. Obviously, we talk about basketball, sports, all this kind of stuff, but realistically, being an attorney, even though at 10 and 11 didn't even know exactly what that was, I always wanted to be an attorney. So
good advice is follow that gut instinct, right? When you're a kid, and follow your dreams.
Yes.
Is what it sounds like to me. I know I did the same thing, followed my dreams, and it sounds like you too, at a young age, you kind of already had things in your life showing you little signs here and there. You kind of just heard those signs and kept going with it.
I did. My parents were very inspirational to me. Coming up, them growing up in the Caribbean, being very poor, very modest backgrounds. So work was always instilled on me early. It was something I knew I wanted to do, had a passion for it. I saw how early on how the practice of law could affect and change so many things. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the changes a little bit later on, but it was just something that I just knew if I wanted to have an impact the way that I really wanted to do in terms of changing my family's lives and lives of others, being an attorney was the way to get it done.
Well, thank you to the parents of attorney Darren Miller.
Joseph and Edith Miller.
There you go, Joseph and Edith Miller. Thank you guys for having an amazing and raising an amazing man here, which has made you the man that you are now.
And I'm good. When we close, I have a very interesting story about my parents that I'm going to tell you about. That happened even yesterday.
Well, if you guys are watching Edith or Joseph Miller, make sure you tune until the end of the show so you can find out that awesome tip that we want to hear. So welcome. I want to say thank you to all of you viewers that are out there for watching the show. I know a lot of you guys are waiting eagerly to find out who the winner is. Today we're announcing the winner for heroic behavior.
Very nice.
Yes. So stay tuned. I know you guys are watching, wanting to know who's the winner to the spa package. Keep staying tuned because this man right here is going to announce the winner.
Well, can we do it now?
No, I think we should make them wait a little bit.
Oh, my.
I mean, let's talk about that in maybe like 5 minutes and see how we are in the show. Maybe we'll do it in like 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
Yeah? Okay, maybe. Okay, so I just want to open up those lines of communication to all of you guys that are out there. Any questions that you guys have for the founding partner of D. Miller & Associates, Attorney Darren Miller. He's here today. Any questions or even comments, because last time we got a lot of comments too.
Cool.
A lot of awesome people that put up great comments. So I want to welcome all of those comments and questions, not just for me, but also for the attorney who is here to answer those questions live. So we have actually one pulling up right now, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more about the legal hero after we're done with this question, because there's a person named Jay out there. I'm sure Jay wants to know right now eagerly the answer to this question. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit more about the heroic behavior and all that good stuff. So keep staying tuned, guys. Be patient. We'll get there. We'll get there. So this one's from Jay. Jay is saying, what do I do if I think I have a case and the other party has got a ticket, but I'm not sure if my case is strong enough for an attorney? I'm going to repeat that. We might need a little bit more information. You just clarify to the viewer. So Jay, thank you, Jay. What do I do if I think I have a case and the other party has got the ticket, but I'm not sure if my case is strong enough for an attorney?
Good question, Jay, and sorry to hear about your accident. First thing I would do, obviously, if you've been injured, then get some kind of medical assistance. I don't know if you've been to the hospital yet or been to a doctor, but get some type of medical help to address that situation. In terms of whether or not your case is strong enough for a lawyer, I always tell clients, don't worry about what the lawyer thinks, okay? Give us, for example, with us, if you contacted us, let us kind of go through your situation. We'll go through the facts with you, give you our opinions as to what's going on. But most importantly, let's treat you. Let's get you the doctors that you need. Let's get your questions answered and get that going. What I always like to do is with clients is set them going in the right direction. Let's give them the information that they need. Let's get them the care that they're looking for. And then quite frankly, at the end of the day, if the case isn't strong enough for an attorney, for example, we'll tell them what they should probably think about trying to do. But, first and foremost, take care of your needs, get your case going, see a doctor, get those things going, and don't worry about what the attorney's going to think. Let's get your needs addressed first before we do anything else.
So it sounds like you're saying, let's get the ball rolling. Absolutely. And then from there, you guys do an investigation and all that good stuff. And I know the attorneys get very much involved with every case here.
Sure.
So we do have phases. So phase one gets all the information, and then phase two investigate. So like you said, get the ball rolling, right?
Exactly. And one further point, Jay, in terms of the attorney, what I think I hear you kind of asking is, what happens if my case is just not strong enough for my firm, for example, or some other firm? While I can't speak for those other attorneys, typically speaking, we're not going to charge you anything. So if your case is just something that we can't really assist you with, we'll at least point you in the right direction, let you know what we think we should do, and we're not going to leave you in a worse position than you currently are. So don't worry about that. Let's take care of your needs first. As Marty said, get the case going and kind of go from there.
Well, it sounds good. So thank you, Jay, for that question. And we definitely, if you want to give us a call, we'll follow up with you. That phone number, 713-850-8600. We're here to help. I always say this, but you're in good hands. So we're here to point you in the right direction, give you the best advice that we can as well here at D. Miller & Associates. Absolutely. So thank you so much, Jay, for that question. I want to thank all of you guys as well for sharing this show, because Jay's not the only one with a question like that. There's more people out there with the same type of question.
More questions?
Yeah, a lot of people have questions.
Yeah, but they do.
And when it comes to anything on the legal side, some people might be a little bit intimidated by it too. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk to an attorney. And what is your take on that?
That's a good point, Marty. With regards to the questions that you guys have, that is what we're here for, to answer your questions, to give you direction. No question is silly. No question is dumb. We've been doing this forever. So any of those little issues or concerns that you have, regardless if you're doing it yourself or doing it with another attorney, if you have a question that we can at least provide you some information on, feel free to give us a shot and we'll answer your questions for you.
Absolutely. We're here to hear your story and help you as well. So That's awesome. So we have another question. This one's from Dylan. Hey, Dylan. So Dylan is saying, I was involved in a multiple vehicle collision with 4 vehicles. Huh? Is there insurance to cover anyone? If not, what happens? Okay. This is a loaded question. Let me repeat that again. I was involved in a multiple vehicle collision with 4 vehicles. Is there insurance to cover anyone? If not, what happens?
Okay. Very good question, Dylan, and somewhat of a complicated question. And I think what you might be asking, is there enough, because there's so many people involved, so many vehicles, is there enough insurance to cover everyone? And I'm going to give you the real answer. Based upon what you just said, honestly, I don't know, okay? Texas minimum limits here in the state of Texas means that the insurance companies, most vehicles are covered with a minimum of $30,000 to $60,000 worth of insurance. Now, what we'd have to do in that situation is, I would certainly suggest, if you're injured, go seek the medical care that you need. Go address those issues. That's always first and foremost. With regards to coverage, what we do here at our firm is then your case would then go to the phase 2 of our process. It's the investigation phase. And what we would do there is to find out exactly, get in touch with the insurance companies, find out how many people are injured, find out how much insurance we have, see what the lay of the land is looking like, and then we can better kind of advise you as to what's going on and what the situation is there. Now, hopefully, Dylan, you've got what's called uninsured motorist coverage. What that does is, if there is not enough coverage for the wrongdoers, whoever has caused the accident, then we would also look to your uninsured motorist coverage to cover secondarily as an additional pocket of money for you to look to get from, if in case there is not enough insurance to take care of those particular damages.
Boy, were you right. It does sound complicated. Yeah. It sounds like there's a lot of moving parts to it, which is what you guys love, huh?
Yes.
What you love. And there's a lot of options for Dylan.
Yeah, there is a lot of options. And Marty, you know, I love situations like this because it provides, it makes you think. It makes you have to diagram it, that you got to put on the wall. And what we like to do is kind of get the attorneys together along with the staff to see what everyone thinks, what everyone's opinions are, and bring that up against what we believe and what our strategies are, and then we make the best decision based upon the circumstances and let the client know what we think that they should do. That's
awesome. So we take the story of the potential client and we look at the big picture.
Absolutely.
From every angle.
Every angle, the totality of circumstances.
Wow. Yes. That's awesome. So there is a lot of options for you, Dylan, so no worries. We will follow up with Dylan and just kind of see if there's any other questions and how else we can help with this kind of a little bit different matter. So thank you, Dylan, for that question. We're going to move on into something kind of fun. So last time, D. Miller and Associates is known for your legal heroes. You know that.
That's correct.
Right? We have this new little item here, this little fan to fan yourself. So make sure you come check us out at our events to get one of these. And on the back side, it has our 4 locations. Now, we didn't announce the 4th one yet, and we will today because we were talking about Houston, Seattle, McAllen, and there's a 4th one, and I'll have you talk about that one.
Sounds good.
So your legal heroes. Last time, Mr. Miller, we talked a little bit about what characteristic you symbolize, and you said Superman.
I did say Superman.
You gave a great story behind it, a very deep story that gave me chills. I remember the last show, so if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a great description of how him as an attorney, as a man, everything just really molds into this character of Superman. Right. So it's awesome. So now I have a question for you.
Yes.
So how are you, or how have you been a Superman to a family or an individual? I mean, these are 19 years that you have to go back in your mind and see how you've impacted. But how did you act like Superman to a family or maybe an individual?
Okay. I can think of one particular story that I think about from time to time with this situation. Probably about 8 years ago, there was a client, a young student. She was about 21 years old. She was involved in a serious accident. She got broadsided, T-boned in an accident at an intersection. She was hospitalized for 3 days, all kinds of broken bones, broken ribs, different fractures, all kinds of everything she was dealing with. She hired an attorney. The attorney, she never really got to speak with the attorney too much. And the attorney was kind of very quick to wrap the case up. Hey, let's get this pot of money in and be done with the case. And she had contacted me and she's like, look, I just fired my attorney and I'm looking for some help. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? Well, I feel terrible. I don't feel right. I don't feel good. And of course, well, look at the injuries you've suffered. Of course, it's kind of you're probably going to feel like that after suffering that kind of damage. She's like, no, it's not physical. It's not physical. It's mental.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, okay, well, what are you dealing with? What's going on with you? And she said, well, mentally, I just don't feel good. I'm not there. I'm not the same person I was. And sometimes I just don't even know if I want to continue to move forward. And I didn't want to press her too much with regards to what that meant, but I could tell there was something going on with her. And so I didn't know what the case was going to be worth, but what I did know was this young lady needed help. And so we sent her to some doctors who made a referral to a neurologist, and we got her tested. It turns out that they immediately, after doing some initial testing, they got her to, and they contacted us and said, hey, we need to get this young lady some serious testing because she is really going through she suffered a traumatic brain injury.
Oh, wow.
And it's significant. Oh. Okay. It's a significant brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we didn't know what was going on with the case, but this young lady needed help. And that testing is pretty expensive. So we went ahead and paid for that because she had all kinds of different
Right.
issues going on. And, it wasn't, and some of my staff was like, Darren, you don't even know what's going on here. You don't know what money's involved. You don't know if you're going to get your money back. And it's like, well, this young lady was talking about maybe suffering permanent injuries that she needed to address, and even potentially, I don't even want to move forward, which who knows what that meant.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we had to get her some assistance. When I talked to one of the doctors about the situation thereafter, he's like, Darren, you really did well on this one because we got her some medication, we got some things under control, and we were able to deal with it. While we didn't make a whole lot of money on this case, the very fact now that this young lady is doing so much better,
Good.
she's finished with school, she's doing very well. She just finished, I think, getting her master's. It just makes me feel good to know that we got involved, we assisted her, we took a chance, and the money is going to kind of take care of itself, but we set her on the right direction. And even her sister today is I talked with her sister a couple of years ago, and she's like, thank you just so much for helping my sister and making sure that she moved forward, because if you didn't, we just don't know what might have happened.
Wow, what an impactful story, where you
cool.
kind of stood in front, you kind of saw that something just wasn't right, you went and got the appropriate help, and you humbly did it, and this person is like flourishing in life. This is awesome.
Yeah. It's those types of things, Marty, that it's all about. It's all about, we're really blessed with a lot of cases, a lot of business that flows through here, but sometimes you've got to stop and do the right thing for certain people, and that's
Right.
what we do, and that's why we continue to get blessed by God with cases and phone calls and questions from you guys as we see it coming through.
Yeah, and that is awesome story. And I know you mentioned a little bit about traumatic brain injury. I don't know if that was one of the beginning cases, but we do a lot with our cases here with traumatic brain injury, whether it's an actual accident, any type of accident, or whether it's our NFL concussion. So we do specialize on the traumatic brain injury as well.
Absolutely. We've been seeing kind of an influx of those types of injuries now, since we're doing some mass tort things, of course, with our football players that have suffered, with clients that have been in serious impacts. We're seeing a lot more of those traumatic brain injury cases. So we've done our part with regards to getting those people hooked into the right networks of people to make sure they're getting the assistance, to make sure they're getting back on the right track for recovery.
That's awesome. So now I know our team is able to notice certain things, kind of like you kind of noticed certain things of that client, and we get them in the right direction and get them the proper help for that.
Correct. And what we do, I think, which is somewhat unique, is our phase 3 medical team. Mm-hmm. They're going to contact the client, especially when they're talking about a traumatic brain injury case. They're going to ask certain questions and get that information. And then if they notice certain things, what they'll do is maybe talk to a spouse, talk to his sister, relative people to find out, well, what's going on with him?
Yeah.
Is he acting normally? Is he doing certain things that are uncharacteristic? And if they tell us evidence that, yeah, he does things like, that he typically otherwise would not do, we certainly make note of those issues. We share that information with the medical professionals to make sure, hey, we've got something here. Take a look at it, doctors, and let us know what we need to do.
Yeah, and sometimes it is the loved ones that notice the change.
Yeah.
The client or the person might not say something's wrong with me or I see some certain changes. It's the loved ones.
It is the loved ones, because many times you have, like, for example, I had a gentleman the other day that we talked to he got hit by an 18-wheeler, and he's the breadwinner for the family. So it's, I'm fine, I'm good. I want to get back. I need to get back to take care of the family.
Yeah.
And so, he's saying everything's fine. And wife is saying, look, this guy is totally different. This is this. And so what we'll do is, look, if you're worried about money, we can assist you with some of those things. Let's fix that TBI issue, get that taken care of before we do anything else. It's that important.
Yeah, so our main concern here at D. Miller & Associates is our client. Making sure our client is better and closer to that 100%.
One thing, Marty, that we have to realize, okay? This show, your clothes, my suit, none of this is possible without the clients and taking care of the clients and addressing the needs of the clients. So absolutely, the needs of the clients have to go first.
Yeah, and that way we can get the client back to being a hero in their own way, in their household, to the community, etc. So we're heroes creating heroes again, right? There we go.
Absolutely.
So that was a beautiful story. I also want to ask a little kind of fun fact or interesting fact about you.
Okay.
I know I'm putting you on the spot again. So last time you gave us the interesting fact that you play racquetball.
Yes.
And we put a post up. So, I mean, you like to have fun too. You have a life aside of being an attorney as well. You're normal. You're like a normal guy. A normal guy.
Sure.
So give us another interesting fact. I know you're hardly on the show, but when you are on the show, the viewers want to get to know just a little bit more about the D. Miller.
Okay. What to tell?
What to tell?
Happily married for 20 years,
awesome.
20 plus years, to my lovely wife, Comfort, who's given me 4 beautiful children.
Awesome.
And let me talk about the kids real quick. They're everything to me, of course, but they've got their own personalities. I've got Joseph Miller. He is my 17-year-old. He is taller than me.
Oh, wow.
Of course, he thinks he's more intelligent than me, but he wants to go to Texas A&M, by the way. So
awesome.
And luckily,
he's in the right path, huh?
That's right, right path. Luckily, he's smarter than me at that age, of course. Now, one of the things that we do around at the house is we have our superhero personas at home too.
No way.
Yes, we do. So Joseph he's Batman. And I think it's kind of interesting because he's kind of eccentric. He kind of keeps to himself. He kind of thinks he's super special, and that's my Joseph. So it fits him to a T.
Okay.
Then my next son is Benjamin. Benjamin, he's one of my twins, 14 years old.
Twins. Wow, that's interesting.
Yes, and Benjamin, he actually wants to be an attorney.
Go figure.
Yeah, he wants to be a lawyer. Now he says, you're doing okay with what you're doing right now. You're doing okay, but when I get in there, I'm really going to take it to the next level. All this playing around, whatever, I'm really going to take it to the next level.
We'll hold you to that.
So he's really challenging me already.
Okay.
His persona is Green Lantern, which is kind of interesting because he likes the gadgets and he likes his electronics. And if you know anything about Green Lantern, he's kind of a ne'er-do-well, kind of like my little boy. He's trouble, but he also does the right thing. He's a good kid. Okay. And then, of course, my 2 beautiful daughters. The other twin her name is Jordan. Mm-hmm. Jordan she's fantastic. She's awesome. She wants to go to Stanford. Her persona is Wonder Woman, and she is a real Wonder Woman. She plays in the orchestra. She's excellent. She's an overachiever. She's already researching with regards to Stanford. Actually, this weekend, she made me go and take her, and she calendared it for me to take her on a driving lesson at age 14 because she's going to be the first one to get it done. She wants to do it early. She's very planned. She's very calculating.
Wow.
And she's a little bit sinister, but she's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. And then, of course, my daughter, my final daughter is Morgan. She's 12 years old. She's got me wrapped around her finger, of course.
Of course. There has to be one.
Yes. Her persona is Supergirl. She is fantastic. She's very helpful. She's very loving, all those types of things. And what can I tell you about Morgan? What can I tell you about young Morgan? Oh yeah, she's already trying to make deals with us like, look, all those other kids are going to be leaving the nest here pretty soon, and pretty much I'm going to be running it of sorts, so y'all might as well get used to what's going on. And so she's like pretty much breaking us in to let us know what's going to happen here in a few years.
The baby.
Yeah, and she's pretty much winning that battle, by the way.
Wow. Well, that's an interesting fact. A lot of interesting facts at that. I feel like I know a little bit more about you and your family, which is pretty cool and exciting.
Oh, one last thing I also have to add that my wife's persona is hot girl. But, but she's very responsible. Since she has 5 kids, including myself, which of course she says I'm the biggest kid, she really doesn't get into it too much. Like we fly around and throw each other around, all that stuff. She's not going to do that, but she's hot girl. Wow. But we love her. She's the princess. She's the queen. She takes care of everything. It's all good. That's
awesome. What's even better is that not only D. Miller & Associates, we're your legal heroes, but your household is also a bunch of little heroes there too.
Yes, that's
crazy. That's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
So I take it that you follow all the heroic movies too, and
Oh yes.
Okay, well that's another interesting fact. Wow, we're getting a lot of interesting facts.
Yes. Actually, I'll go ahead and say this. We have on Fridays, I go home and
you have a hero movie night.
Well, not exactly. We cook every Friday, and I help to cook. The whole family actually cooks on Friday nights. And then what my Jordan, what she loves to do is set up movie nights for daddy-daughter dates for us to go and.
How cute. Yeah. That's awesome. Very independent kids, which is awesome.
Yes.
And it sounds like they're very smart, giving, loving kids as well.
Yes.
So you guys need to look out for his kids out in the future. The kids are our future of tomorrow, right?
That is correct.
So watch out for the Millers. Watch out. So we have a comment that came in, so they're obviously listening right now. This is from Marcella. She's saying D. Miller loves the kids.
Yes,
he does.
Sure do.
Yes.
Sure do. We love you too, Marcella.
And speaking of the kids, that's something that we are impacting also the community here in about 2 weeks, give or take, with Houston Children's Charity.
Yes.
I know we're talking about the kids, and Marcella just made the comment. She nailed it. You do love the kids. Yeah. Houston Children's Charity, we're going to be doing it May 10th here at our facility from 3 to 7 with Magic 102. So we're going to put the flyer below. So as you're watching the show, you're going to see it pop up here in a second. Every $100 that we raise together as a family and as a community, it gives a chance for a child in the community who does not have a bed or a pillow, a chance for that. So every $100 that we raise affects one child that needs a bed and a pillow, and as well as a sheet. I don't know if that's something you want to talk about here briefly. I know there's a lot of impact in that. We do love the kids. We want to make a difference. We also want to see you guys there. So please go look at that flyer below.
Yeah, Marty, you guys would be so surprised at the number of kids every night that don't have a bed to sleep on, don't have a pillow with which to lay on, especially after the hurricane. It's just been devastating to the community. And I'm telling you, just if the kids can't get a good night's sleep, it affects them socially. It affects them at school. They can't get up, get ready for school. They can't learn properly. And it starts a whole situation that is just bad.
Yeah.
That just doing that act of getting them a comfortable bed to sleep on, it can change and set them on that right path.
Yeah, for sure. I know that's super important. I know our kids need the education. They need to be in school. They need to be present. So that's very important. And just so our kids get the proper future or education for the future is what we want. So please, we want to see you guys there. That way you also get a chance to meet the attorneys. We're going to have a surprise there. I don't know if you're ready for this surprise. I'm going to let you know here in a second, but you can meet the whole staff, the attorneys, the address, as well as the flyers located below. Please go to the event page and just let us know that you're interested in coming and that we're going to have the pleasure of seeing you guys there. Please, please, please make sure to do that. We're actually going to do surprises. We're going to be doing the show live outside in the mix of the party. So if any of you guys coming out, you don't have to watch me on your screen. You guys can come to the event and watch it right in front of us, which that's pretty cool.
That is very cool. You mean they can be a part of the show?
They could be a part of the show for sure.
Very cool.
So we want you guys to come and kind of be a part of that as well. Anybody we work with, anybody that is watching the show, anybody that is interested in coming out, we want you to make an impact with us. So please make sure you come out. We're also going to do another surprise.
What's that?
So we're going to have a dunk tank.
Okay.
And he's in it. Yes. Yes. So we're going to be raising money for the Houston Children's Charity.
Oh,
so if you guys want to try to dunk Mr. Miller or the partner, Ramesh Rabuthaman,
okay, good.
So there's two of them.
Okay. The
two partners are going up there. You guys get, just like, dunk tank. You get a ball, you try to hit the little thing to where it goes in, and boom, you go down.
Well, then what am I going to do about my hair and all that?
You're just going to have to mess your hair up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then if we're going to do it, then you know what? What about Andy? What about attorney Andy Rubenstein? I challenge you to be a part of it, and why don't you get dunked along with us?
That might be a challenge.
Yeah.
We're going to see if attorney Andy Rubenstein is up for that challenge.
Well, can someone get word to him? We're live on the show. Someone get word to him, see if we can get some confirmation, see whether or not he'll do it on the show.
We'll work on that. My production team is going to work on that, try to get some confirmation of that challenge. Yeah. But that's a surprise. I think that's great. You guys get to dunk the boss man here, the founding partner, the managing partner, both of them. You'll get to dunk them.
You know what? It's for charity. So
it is.
What are you going to do?
See, he doesn't really have a choice. So you guys are in control of him going under.
That'll work.
There we go. So that's going to be something fun. Okay. I know we have also a viewer right now. Lauren wants to know a little bit more about the question that she has. So thank you so much, Lauren, for tuning in and hearing our crazy, interesting facts and stories right now. Lauren is saying, I was involved in an accident a year ago. I had an attorney to represent me, but I don't like the way they have handled things. Am I able to switch over to another attorney, or will this hurt my case? This is a great question. I think you could probably speak in a second if you see this often, but I'm going to repeat it. Lauren is saying, I was involved in an accident a year ago. I had an attorney to represent me, but I don't like the way they are handling things. Am I able to switch over to another attorney, or will this hurt my case?
Great question. I would say this. First of all, the case belongs to the client. So at any point, if the client chooses or feels like they're not being represented properly, not being kept in communication, in the loop as to what's going on, the client has the right to terminate that particular attorney. So in terms of it hurting the case, obviously everything is a case-by-case basis. We get cases all the time from other clients where they haven't had a chance to speak with the attorney or set up a meeting, or there's some problem with whatever the situation might be. And certainly what I would tell you is I don't think it's going to hurt you significantly, depending on where you are with the case and how developed your case is. As long as you have whoever your new attorney is competent, takes care of business, and keeps you informed, you should be in fairly good shape. If you can't work it out with your current lawyer, which I'm sorry about, then certainly do what you need to do to speak to someone else who might be able to take care of those things for you.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure that you're taken care of. You do, Lauren, have the right to seize services, just like anything. You could, just like you can return an item. It's kind of like the same process, maybe a little bit more in depth, because it might be documents and things you have to follow up with.
Right, absolutely. You've got to put it in writing, of course. You have to let the attorney know that they're terminated. Of course, you need to do those things. And then, of course, make sure it is your case, and there may be statute of limitations issue or whatnot, but make sure, I would certainly suggest talking to another attorney to make sure that everything is going to proceed forward in the right way, and make sure you're making that right decision.
And you just spoke about statute of limitations, and I want you to speak a little bit more about that in the state of Texas, because she said that she was involved in an accident a year ago.
Okay.
So she still has time. Is that correct?
She does have time. If it's an incident here in the state of Texas, you have 2 years to pursue your action with regards to litigation and get it resolved. But different states are different. For example, in Louisiana, the statute of limitations is 1 year. So you just have to be careful with the timing, where you are, where you live, things of that nature, and make sure that you are protected, because if you blow your statute of limitations, you're going to blow your opportunity to collect on your accident.
Yeah, so we have to follow up with Lauren to see what state she's in, but no matter what, we would be able to advise what state that she's in, to kind of let her know if she's in that parameter, huh?
Yeah, again, luckily, we're very fortunate to represent over 6,000 clients nationwide, so we deal with these issues every day, 100 times a day, actually. So depending on what the circumstances are, if we can't help you, we can certainly get you with someone in a place where you are that can help you. So that's not going to be a problem.
Perfect. So thank you, Lauren, for that question. We'll definitely follow up. We got a comment. This one's from Marcella. She says, we have other attorneys that need to be dunked as well.
We sure do.
We have a total here at D. Miller Associates of 6 attorneys.
Is it
six with combined experience of 50 years.
Well, probably more than that, because I think we just hired another attorney actually today.
So that's why the number changed.
Another attorney. So I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that number may be 7.
Okay.
I believe it may be 7.
So meaning Marcella is right. There's a lot more of attorneys that could be potentially dunked. So let's see how this dunk contest goes. You never know. They might not hit the spot and dunk you, or they might get you on the first chance.
Yeah.
And you hit it and you go down. We need the next attorney to come on up.
Oh yeah. And since I'm going to be involved, I will be chastising whoever's throwing it at me. So if they start missing, I will be pointing the finger at them.
Yeah.
And we'll be pointing the finger at these other lawyers to get involved too. So that should be fun.
That will be fun.
Now I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
This will be fun.
So any of you guys attorneys that are watching right now that work with us as well, there's a lot of attorneys, joint ventures that we work with as well out there. So if you guys are watching, be ready. Make sure that you guys attend our Houston Children's Charity that's located below. So I know Lauren just asked a question, and we were talking about the statute of limitations, how it was in Texas. Now, I want you to mention, because I did show one of these guys. It has 4 locations on there. 4 locations, okay? Being our principal location here, Houston, Texas. We have Seattle, Washington, which is a satellite location. We have another satellite location in McAllen, Texas, and I haven't mentioned to any of our viewers that 4th location. Do you want to talk a little bit about that 4th location?
I do. We are fortunate enough we have started doing so much business up in Illinois, so we are starting to do a bunch of work up in Chicago. Got a lot of cases going on up there, and we are right now in the process of putting together and signing off on getting our new location in Chicago.
Amen. That's awesome. So we already have a phone number. So if you guys have a family member or a friend that needs help, you can always call the main number, which is at 713-850-8600. There is a Chicago number, a Seattle number, and a McAllen, Texas number. So we'll load all those numbers up. So if you have any family members or friends, they can give us a call.
Absolutely. And Monty, I'm noticing something very familiar. Looking at this fan here, there's a whole lot of zeros there on those numbers, just like our clients get lots of zeros when we settle their case.
So if you guys want to take a look, there's a location. That's a good little point right there. The other side, it says Your Legal Heroes, a picture of the attorneys, the 4 main attorneys that we have here, and our website as well. Now, if you guys want one of these fans, it's about to be the hot summertime. You can come to our Houston Children's Charity and pick one of these up, or you can come by on our location and we'll have one of these fans for you. Just mention that you heard that you can get a fan from your host, Marty B, from Talk to Me Tuesday.
Excellent.
And we got you a fan.
Sounds great.
There we go. So I want to thank you guys for that. So now I want to kind of switch it up. I know earlier I asked how you were a Superman to a family. Now I kind of want, I want to get another one in. Sure. So I want a story. And then you said you've been in business, or you have been practicing for 19 years.
19 years.
Long time.
Long time.
A lot of stories to think about. A lot of lives you've impacted. Humbly put yourself in the way to basically be a legal firm to have the clients come behind you and you represent them the full step of the way.
Right.
So tell us of another story on how you've impacted an individual. I ask every attorney that comes in here and that sits in this chair.
Yes.
I ask how they've impacted someone, because some of the stories we've heard, man, has been very chilling, and you just gave us one how you were Superman to a client. So I kind of want you to give us, without any names, of course, we want to protect that client, but just a story that you really got to impact in any way, or even if you were involved in the community. Doesn't have to be a case.
Okay, well, I think of another instance where it's a great example, I think, of our firm fighting for the little guy. And this is probably I would probably say 12 years ago. We were contacted by a family out in Third Ward. And we met with them, we talked with them about what they were experiencing. And basically, the water that was running through their house was brown and dirty, and they weren't getting help from the city as related to that. We found out that this was something that was pervasive throughout the area, and we went out and visited with them. And a lot of people had the same issues, the same problems. They had non-potable water. They had the water that they could not drink, that they had to bathe in this dirty water. It was really disgusting. And what and what was really interesting was these guys had approached, they told me probably 8 or 9 lawyers before, and nobody wanted to do anything. And then, in our situation, we'd only been in practice for a few years, but it's well, I didn't know what to do, okay? And Ryan Bormaster worked for me at that particular point in time, and we had to kind of figure out what to do and how to address it, because and how do you fight the Goliath being, these big officials, city and state, that whole deal? Well, we decided we're going to take this on. We didn't know exactly what we were going to do. We didn't know exactly how we were going to pay for it. We didn't know exactly what our strategy was going to be. But we came up with something to apply pressure to them. We got the news stations involved. We had a couple of press conferences to show the people what they were drinking. To show that we had kids involved in it. We had older people to show that these kids were drinking this stuff because, of course, this is where they lived, and they get thirsty and they have to ingest and they have to eat and drink something. Yeah. And then you have the older folks who they're on fixed incomes. Many of them are very poor folks. And they can't just run on down to the Kroger store to go get their water because they don't have the money to go do it. And many of them couldn't get around. Mm-hmm. So we showed them, we put it out there as to what these guys were going through. And although we didn't make a whole bunch of money out of this situation, what we did do, we got the attention of the city. And they did get out there and they made the situation better. It wasn't a perfect situation, but they cleaned up the water. They cleaned up the sewage. They addressed those needs, and so we were able to help those people, and that just kind of really made us feel good. And so, what was really nice about it, although again, we didn't do it so much for the money, but when those guys have questions about certain things, they're glad to give us a call, to give us a shout, to let us know what's going on, to see what we can help them with, because we helped them 10 or 15 years ago. Yeah. Just to survive. What a sad story, but there's just a lot of great that I hear out of this story. There was a connection that you guys now build. That was 12 years ago. Yeah. That's crazy. So we have that connection. They have it with you as well. You raised awareness to the city so that they don't affect other subdivisions, communities. I don't know how big this was, but you kind of raised awareness so that they can, attack that area and kind of fix it. Yeah. Get the water clean. This is contaminated water, and having it on your body and stuff like that's just not a healthy lifestyle to be living in either. Not at all. Hazardous. And when you see people that need help and that they can't help themselves, That's what exactly we're here for, to help those people who can't speak for themselves, who can't help themselves. We've got to help those people who need our assistance.
It's the attorneys being in this position. You have kind of the power to speak to the higher ups or to whoever to kind of make a difference. So it's you guys telling the story of the clients, potential clients, and I think that's super impactful. Super impactful.
I don't think it's just super impactful, Monty. I think it's, quite frankly, it's our duty. Yeah. It's our duty now to when we have the position to do things to help others, then help them. Yeah. Because again, if it was my grandmother down there that needed the assistance, I would want somebody to do what we did then. Yeah. Get them some assistance. Yeah. You got to do the right thing. Yeah. So you guys are in good hands here with D. Miller & Associates. I say that every time because the stories that come on my show, man, are so moving, so moving. There's years of stories that you guys can tell, years of stories on how you've impacted very positively. So that's awesome. We have a couple comments. Yes. There's a lot of people listening to your show right now. Good. A lot of people liking, sharing, all that good stuff. The more you share, the more that these messages can go across to more than one person. So please share. Tyra is saying, you host Marty B, ! Myra, probably a former client, saying, hey, Latitra. It's one of our employees here. Okay. And then Nat gave us the thumbs up. I don't know if that's good job or dig 'em. I don't know which one that is, but they're both good, right? Exactly. Perfect. And then we have a live question coming in. This one's from Mary. Mary is, my mother was at Burger King yesterday and slipped in the restroom and had to be taken to the hospital for injury. Can you help her? Let me repeat that question. It's a good question as well. Yes. You can just add on to this, but sure. Mary said, my mother was at Burger King yesterday and slipped in the restroom and had to be taken to the hospital for injury. Can you help her? Mary, well, first of all, hopefully your mother is doing better. Sorry to hear about her injuries, of course. Yes, I think that we might be able to investigate and take a look at that case for you. Let me just tell you, with regards to slip and falls here in the state of Texas, there's a couple of things that you have to be aware of. You have to, if we're going to move forward with our action, we have to show two things. We have to show that Burger King had notice of the situation and failed to do anything about it, and you also have to show that they had the opportunity to take care of something and they failed to do that. As long as we're able to kind of show that Burger King had the opportunity, they were on notice, that Mary's mother was injured. Certainly, I think there's some things we can try and do for her. So we'd love to speak with her, ask more questions, give her more information, and again, at least point her in the right direction.
Okay, perfect. So, yes, Mary, we can help you. We'll follow up a little bit more. We do slip and falls, not just in the state of Texas, but all of those states that we own.
Washington. So
wow. So we are doing it in other states, which is good. Yeah. So we definitely can help you as well, Mary, for helping you on the slip and fall case for sure. So we're getting comments. Yeah. So I'm getting distracted right now. So this is from your front desk, D. Miller front desk, yes. Which this show is being aired right now for all of our clients that are here as well in the waiting area. Okay. So big shout out to you clients in the waiting area. I wanted to say hi.
And our receptionist too, yes. Hello, ladies.
They're asking for, can we get Mr. Miller to do a heroic pose?
A heroic pose?
Maybe not on the show, but we have several.
Maybe right on the show. Hold on. I'll do a little something, heroic pose. I'll do something. How about the little Superman pose? A little. I can't really open it. That's what I would do. Okay.
That's good. If you had your Superman shirt under, that'd be perfect to open it wide open, right? But if not, you know what? You can go to, for those of you guys that are watching, www.dmillerlaw.com, and as soon as you get on there, there's a picture of you doing that right there, going crazy. So thank you, and then thank you guys that are watching up there at the front desk as well as our clients. Absolutely. Thank you. Hi and welcome. So we haven't forgot. Maybe we forgot a little bit. We got kind of wrapped up in our stories.
Yes.
Yes. So speaking of heroic pose and legal heroes,
Yes.
your legal heroes, we have something that we do every month called the heroic behavior.
Yes.
We're about to announce that winner, but hold tight because I want to talk a little bit about it. There's a lot of you guys that have been participating. We got a lot of likes, a lot of you guys that shared the heroic behavior this month. So what you guys had to do is like our page, like the picture, share the post, and tag 2 mothers out there. This is in honor of Mother's Day. We're giving out a massage spa package from Massage Heights. We're giving it to you guys just in time so you can give it as a gift for the Mother's Day. Or if you're a mother, then cool, you can go on Mother's Day and get this awesome spa package that we're going to be giving out. Now, the winner will be announced today.
Cool.
Okay? Winner will be announced today. I want to thank all of you guys that participated. You've seen it. It's crazy. There's so many people, so many of you guys that tagged 2 mothers and then shared it, liked it. It's crazy that we're getting a lot of awesome feedback, which is great. For you fathers out there, don't worry. The one in May, heroic behavior, is going to be geared more for the Father's Day in honor of Father's Day.
Don't leave us out now. Don't leave us out.
We're not going to leave out those fathers. So here's the spa package here. We do have the awesome winner on the Talk to Me Tuesday show.
Okay.
I'm going to hand it over to the founding partner, attorney Darren Miller. So he's going to announce the winner.
Okay.
So for all of you guys, for the last 30 days that have been doing the spa, like, share, here's the drum roll.
There we go.
Who's the winner?
The winner is Lisa Marie Lula Alvarez.
Lisa Marie Lulu Alvarez. You're a winner.
There we go.
Awesome.
Ms. Alvarez.
Yes, congratulations. I know the Facebook names are a little bit long, but we will reach out to you so that we can make sure that you claim your prize, and then we'll follow up whenever you come pick up your beautiful spa package. We'll take a picture with your legal heroes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Ms. Alvarez.
Congratulations. So we're what an amazing show. We're coming to the end right now. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to be getting them in. I know I have another comment. This one's from Ramesh, the managing partner, attorney Ramesh Raguthaman. He's saying, who's getting dunked? Yep, you, my friend.
You.
You are one. For sure, you both are going to get dunked.
Just like them Timberwolves. They're going to get dunked by the Rockets, and you're going to get dunked in our dunking machine.
H-Town strong. Yes. So, yes, my friend, it is you. I know you're watching. So, yes, you will be dunked as well. But we're coming close to the end of the show, and I always like to ask anybody that I have on the show, if you were to leave our viewers with any, I don't know, advice, quotes, any just closing statements, what could you leave our viewers with today?
Wow, what could I leave the viewers with? It's interesting that you say that, Madi. I would say that you're never too old to learn. Okay, and let me tell you why I say that. So yesterday I was on the way to just dropped off my kids at school, and I get a text from my father, and my father is like, son, you need to come over. You need to come over, and we need to talk, and we need to talk about something, okay? And so I came over to the house, and he was there, and my mother was there, and it's something that just never really occurs. Mm-hmm. And they were very concerned. They were concerned about, hey, son, we think you're getting a little too big for your britches, so to speak. You're getting a little bit. Are you spending too much money? Are you preparing for the future? Are you planning? And all those types of things. And I'm like, Dad, I'm 40 plus years old. The business is going well. We got things going well. We're expanding and growing. And yeah. I see all that. You
need to show your son Benjamin too, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And so, my father was very concerned about, look, your offspring, the kids, and your legacy, okay? And he just wants to make sure that, hey, is everything good? Is everything right? And so I spent about an hour with them and just kind of going through certain things. And yes, by the end of the meeting, they felt very good about the direction that we were going and what we had in place. But, it just reminded me of when I was, 13 or 14 or 15 years old, when I was very young, and maybe not making as wise decisions as I'm currently making. But, what they forced me to do was to sit down, to think through where I was, the position of the firm, my family, our position, what we're doing in the community, just so that you're just never too old to learn, okay? My father, my mother, they still worry, they're still concerned, and you can always learn something from them. And there was a couple of things that because of that meeting yesterday, I thought, okay, I need to do this a little bit differently. I need to prepare a little bit differently with my wife. I need to explain certain things to me because clearly I thought I was making everything clear to everybody and making sense to everyone. So I wasn't. And because of that, I'm going to change a few things. So again, you're never too old to learn.
That is awesome. That's a very deep message. Wow. Because even now, and I could apply that also to myself, you're never told to learn. Getting your degree, if you guys are motivated out there and you see the attorneys on here and you want to go to law school, that's also something you can do. We're constantly learning at the firm too, at our households. That's such a great message, and that's for everybody that's watching. Learning either life quotes or changes, that's also one way to learn. Educational wise is another way to learn. Going back to school, there's just so many things that you can apply to life and you can learn every step of the way.
Again, I don't care who you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care what you achieve in life. If you're not constantly learning, then you're not growing. You've got to be doing those things. And you can learn from anyone, whether it's the receptionist, to the professor, to your clients. You can learn from anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. You just don't make the assumption that just because you have more education than someone or you have a better financial position than someone else that you can't learn from them. You can learn from anyone. You just have to do what? You have to listen. Listen to what people are telling you, and you can always pick something out of it.
Right.
You can do
that. And now technology is at our fingertips, so everything's literally a fingertip away, that everything's on your device, your phone, your iPad, to where you can learn. There's even seminars online. Even here, the show. A lot of people that are watching the show probably learned a lot from you, learned as far as their case, or if they were in that situation. You can always learn. It's just about a matter of listening, understanding it, and applying it to your life. Huh?
Truly, 100% believe that, Marty.
Yeah,
100%.
Awesome. Well, that was a great ending statement. So thank you, and I'm thanking on behalf of our viewers as well. We got very deep really quick in regards to a good message for you guys. So our show is coming to an end here. I couldn't have agreed any better with Mr. Miller as far as you're never too old to learn. So I'm going to say the same thing too. I agree with you. And if you guys have any comments or any other questions, please make sure that you load them. Even though the show is not live, we are still constantly looking at those comments.
It's live right now, though, right?
It's live right now, yes. But after the show's over in 2 minutes, you guys are still able to post, comment, and we're still looking at it. Right. So don't think that you have to get everything in 2 minutes. We haven't gotten anything in, but don't think you have to get it in 2 minutes. You can even do it whenever you get home.
Can I make one more point?
Absolutely.
Okay, very quick. One other thing I'd like to say is never be afraid to admit your mistakes. Never be afraid to admit that you're human and you're real. Okay, I speak with kids sometimes and in different groups and different forms. And one thing I admit, you know what? I did not pass the bar my first time when I tried. I didn't pass the bar. And it was very difficult for me to go through that process of having failed. But I learned so much from failing, and I learned what it takes to succeed. So it's okay to make mistakes. The question is, what are you going to learn from those mistakes? What are you going to prepare for the next time? But you have to admit to those things so that you can learn and grow and get to the next level.
Wow, very resilient, huh?
Absolutely.
I know you have a lot of team members here, employees, or even other attorneys that are also very resilient.
Yes.
Even in the same room, we're very resilient. We keep trying, but admitting your mistakes is the first step to learning.
Yes, we're all human.
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect. There's
Correct.
only one perfect person. Oh, that's up there.
Yes, exactly. So those two go hand in hand. Admitting your mistakes is how you can grow and learn from others around you.
There you go.
Others are put in your path for a reason, for you to learn, take in, absorb anything that anybody is throwing your way, but it's there for a reason.
Correct.
Wow, we got really deep. I know that maybe we should have another show to where we could give live quotes, because don't cry on us. No tears out there. This is just real life stuff, and we're here to help. We'd like to see people grow, flourish, and just be amazing people out there.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to ask you, we're at 4 o'clock. Do you have any other closing statements? I think you've given us a good solid chunk. So I want to thank all of you guys, all of the viewers that are watching, that have liked the show already, have shared the show, commented. Today was a great show. I want to thank you guys on behalf of Talk to Me Tuesday, on a Tuesday from 3 to 4. I'm your host, Mari B, and attorney Darren Miller.
See you tomorrow, Mary Lou. Have a safe flight in from California. Thanks for coming to see us.
Bye, Mary Lou. We'll see you tomorrow.